Well, good morning, Reuben and Nate. So glad to have you with us this morning on our podcast, Power Partners in Real Estate. And by way of a proper introduction, both Reuben and Nate are with Century 21 Judge Fite Company. And did I get that okay?
You did it perfect.
Hey, all
Right on the
right.
dot.
We're off to a great start. Hey guys, out of the Dallas Fort Worth area over there, what a beautiful area and just a hot market. And that's part of the reason for this podcast is to help you as realtors to showcase your business, what's going on there in your market, get to know you a little bit better, because I use this podcast as a referral tool. And when people are looking for a great realtor in your area or the areas that you serve within the state of Texas, boom, here we go. We got Reuben and Nate. In fact, check out this podcast so you can get to know them better. So
Well,
that's,
thank you for having us. We really love being here.
of
And thank you
course,
so much once again for your amazing introduction. We greatly appreciate the opportunity and look forward to conversing with you.
fantastic. Well, let's jump into it. Reuben and Nate here have, you know, just been fantastic in their field in real estate. So we want to know, how did you get started in real estate? And then you can tell us a little bit about your market too. So whoever would like to start between the two of you, rock and roll.
I'll let the better side of us start. So, Ruben, go ahead and take it off, brother.
I'm not sure if I'm the better side, but clearly the more handsome one. But
Clearly,
yeah, clearly. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Better put your glasses on.
there we
Yeah,
go.
I started in real estate mostly because I've been an entrepreneur all my life. I actually also own an aerospace welding shop in Southern California. And my dad started in the back in the 1970s. To give you a little background with that. So now I became the owner in 1991. My main focus there was aerospace, and we weld on brand new commercial and military aircraft parts. So if you've flown on a 737, more than likely there's parts that we've done. So I got the business going well enough that we have a team that's outstanding. They do a great job. And then, as time went on, I've always wanted to get involved in real estate. I've been an investor. I own the building that we're in, and I love helping people. And so I used to go to a goals retreat every year, and they write down, what would you want to do? And if you were dying, what is it that you would have missed on if you did? And I said, I want to be a realtor. I want to do that. I want to help people. I want to know what it's like. And I decided to do that. So I still have my business. I work on that. I work on this. And I remember a client, I said, well, I do it part time, which is really, like 12 hours a day and 12 hours a day. As being an entrepreneur, how it is. But
Absolutely.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's just been an amazing journey. Surprisingly, when you look at me, you think I've been doing it forever. But both Nate and I have been doing it around the same time, around 3 years.
Wow, that's fantastic. Nate, is all that true?
And you know what? Ruben is absolutely right. We know we've been doing real estate for well, for me at least, I've been in real estate for 2 years and 8 months. I think Ruben joined a little bit before me, so he's right on that 3 year mark. But he's absolutely right. Kind of like Ruben, I had the entrepreneurial mindset since the beginning of time, I could say. And again, I'm only 22, but I'm originally from Mexico. I was actually not born in the United States. At the age of 3.5, I was adopted by a single mother who raised me with the thought of, look, I don't have a lot of fortune, nor are you going to have a father. And as a male figure, you're going to be expected by society to be a provider. So you need to start preparing for the future. And, being 5 years old, I was like, well, what are my ABCs? I don't even know what to say right now. But growing up, I always felt like I could achieve more. And kind of as Ruben mentioned, when it always happens at the most unexpected time, but for me, it was COVID. I graduated high school in 2020. During that time, college kind of was something that was unforeseeable. Some people weren't sure if people were going to do in-person learning or it was going to be virtual. And a lot of companies that were offering apprenticeships or even internships were like, well, we don't even know if we're going to be able to operate at 100%. So it could be costly for us to invest in you at the moment. So at that time, I had to have a serious talk with my mom, who said again, I don't have the funds to send you to college, nor am I going to put you in debt, knowing that you're a male and you can make some bad decisions in life that can cost you a lot. So, I graduated high school in July of 2020. I immediately started pursuing something that would allow me to be able to use my talents and attributes to my fullest potential. Prior to becoming a realtor, I worked at McDonald's as a manager where I would work 12 to 16-hour shifts because I was the only male manager. And the
Wow.
whole time I remember thinking, you know what? I'm investing so much time into someone else's business when I can be doing the same things for my own business. And that's kind of what led me to begin pursue my entrepreneurial mindset. And so I became a realtor at the age of 19, was one of the youngest realtors in my office. But the reason why I became a realtor, because coming from a third world country such as Mexico, where home ownership isn't something that's always solidified, it's something that you have to work towards. I wanted to be that source of wisdom and that source of hope for those people that maybe didn't know where to begin with. And being able to be partnered up with someone like Ruben, who has so much wisdom and so much insight in regards to what people really need, allowed us to have this amazing bond that has really produced so many fruits that I can just say we really have helped people's lives change.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
isn't that amazing? You know, you think about someone his age, and most of them are worried about when's the next party.
yeah, yeah. That those words really resonate with me as well. And Ruben has a brother-in-law, JR, and him and I are really good friends. We also had some similar paths as well. And at a very young age, very entrepreneurial mind, but it was timing, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes the timing is not always right there, or the opportunity may not be present. But I love what you said, Nate, in the fact that you put yourself in the way of an opportunity. You set your mind to it. You said, you know what? I'm tired of building somebody else's business up. Let me build mine up at a very young age. The opportunity then came, you took it and you went with it. And to partner with somebody as old as Noah, I mean, as wise as Noah, what a blessing. What a
Hey, I got to
blessing.
tell you, Noah's a great guy. When we were on that boat, we were having a good time.
I knew there was what, 9 people on there?
Yeah, right. I snuck on.
Hey, if you would have known me a year ago when I used to be a little bit heavier, I probably could have taken up two of those 9 people. So I'm glad that everyone was able to make the boat.
Well, having shared that information with us to see how you got your start in real estate, I think what's would be very helpful too is can you tell us about how things are going in your market right now and what you're doing to help your clients?
We absolutely can. So currently, we're experiencing an abundance of people moving into our state. Now, as we know, Texas is one of those states that is massive. I mean, we're the size of a country, and so a lot of people are coming here for the opportunity. We have companies such as Google, who recently just leased $1 million square foot building so that they can build a new data center. We have Netflix, who's planning to build an event park in Frisco so that they can attract more people. And since we're on the topic of Frisco, they're actually they're currently working on building Universal Studios. So all these opportunities of growth in the community has invited more people to move in. And then especially with the fact that everyone here in Texas is very welcoming and very warm. I know for our DFW Metroplex, we have a wide variety of different cultures, which allows you to visit different parts without having to travel the world. You want to have a little bit of some delicious Mexican food for my Hispanic culture? I can tell you where restaurants are going downtown Fort Worth. You want to experience a nice cuisine, maybe Mediterranean or maybe even some Pacific. Well, Dallas has an amazing wide variety at their One Arts Plaza. So things like that helps us attract clients. But I feel like Ruben has a little bit more that he'd love to share.
No, I mean it's a great area, and not only that, it's still a great area for investors as well. So that's the other thing. So recently we just sold a couple of properties for an investor client of ours, and that went really well. So now he's looking for his next investment, and so that's really that. This attracts a wide variety. You know, you're in California, it's tough to cash flow in California unless you got $2 million, and that makes it difficult. Here, you know, you can do different things, and you clearly know what DSCR loans are.
Yeah.
And so with those, you can really leverage them. So this area still has that ability where the price point of the homes are still reasonable. So you can buy a house for 200,000 or 300,000. That would be an investment property.
Wow, that's amazing. And are you seeing the majority of your folks that are coming into the Dallas Fort Worth areas, are they transplants coming in from, say, California and from other states, or are they mostly folks that are coming from other regions of Texas?
I think it's a good mix right now. After 2020, see, I moved here in 2020 as well. And I'm a California transplant. I'm a Texan by choice. And I love California. I love visiting it. And then when I'm driving there, I remember why I left.
Let's get out of here.
You know, but I think right now there's a real good mix of people migrating here. It's tax friendly. You don't have state taxes. There's a lot of things that help. Businesses are here because they do give them tax breaks. Who know, so they're bringing in, they understand it, which California, their politicians don't understand it. So that's really sad, but that's it. So they give them tax breaks, and we have a great economy. So we got a robust economy here.
Absolutely. And kind of adding on to what Ruben mentioned, another thing that we're seeing is we have seen an increase in first-time home buyers. Now, currently in our DFW Metroplex, we have a lot of builders who are providing an amazing incentives such as down payment assistance, paying for closing, and the thought of being able to purchase a brand new home that comes with a 10-year foundation warranty, 10-year roofing warranty is amazing because a lot of people don't know that right now, due to the facts that are, due to the events that are happening around the world, such as hurricanes, storms, a lot of insurance companies are cracking down on policies. And now we learned yesterday after taking our real estate negotiation expert certification course that a lot of insurance companies, if your roof is over 10 years old, they will drop you. They won't even insure you.
Wow.
And Ruben is actually buying a brand new build at the moment too. So he's experiencing that.
Yeah, no, that's what we're seeing here too. A lot of insurance companies, State Farm won't even write in California anymore. A lot of these folks have said, forget it. Earthquakes, fires, mudslides, floods. We're not writing there. Well, that's interesting. So you got a nice mix. What happens when someone says, "Oh, there's just not enough inventory"? It doesn't sound like that's the case in Dallas Fort Worth area.
Right. No, the inventory, we've seen it tick up, but basically a real estate market where it's even or so is around 3 to 6 months. We're still only at 3 months of inventory. So relatively speaking, that's not a lot.
Mhm.
So homes are still selling. We've seen it slow down a little bit right now because people were waiting to see what was going on with the election. But nonetheless, we're still in a market where 3 months inventory is still about it. But this just started. It was under 3 months for the last 3, 4 years.
Mhm. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, let me ask you this. So you both mentioned you moved out there, Ruben, right around pandemic time as well. Nate, you decided on your real estate journey right around those times too, and those were difficult times. This is a pandemic that it shut the world down for a while, and then California, you couldn't even go on the beach, which is ridiculous. But that brings up a question to me is with your real estate business, what pivots, what adjustments did you have to make during these challenging times to do business and help other people? What adjustments and pivots did you have to make to stay successful?
You want to go,
I
Nate?
think that, yeah, I'll go ahead. And so I think what we had to take in consideration is what is going on with our economy. Something that I feel that a lot of people don't realize is when it comes to real estate, it's very emotional based. Three things that me and Ruben strongly believe that in order for you to represent your client at the best extent, you have to know who they are, what are they wanting, but most importantly, why are they wanting it? And so some of the pivots that me and Ruben had to take was we started taking more courses in regards to how can we better represent the needs of our buyers and our sellers at the same time. Because what was going on is a lot of people at that time were getting an abundance of money for their listings, but that also meant buyers that maybe weren't ready or just didn't have the funds couldn't compete. So me and Ruben started doing our research, we started doing our analysis, And we realized, you know what? There's so many people that need help because as you saw in the news, people were unable to get home ownership. They were getting evicted or they were squatting. And there was so much going on, but it was because they weren't getting the proper wisdom. Now, one thing that I really do think that was the most amazing pivot me and Ruben did was we started partnering up together. We discovered that working together and being in unity allows us to better serve our community because I get to give Ruben my youthful thoughts and he gives me the wisdom that I couldn't get until I was 40 years down the road. And so combining our thoughts has been such an amazing, amazing benefit because now we can better serve our community and provide true world-class service. What do you think, Ruben?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is that Nate and I also, as you can tell, we like to talk. Part of it too is educating your clients, having them understand that it is possible to have ownership, home ownership. And with folks like you, that we can sit and send them over to you and say, hey, talk to this person, talk to our mortgage rep. This person can be your GPS. If you're not quite ready, but you're almost there, he's going to show you how to get there. So the most important thing too is having a team that not only that you can trust and rely on, that are going to also have your same values, that they're going to communicate, they're going to get right on it. We also added a TC, a transaction coordinator, as part of our team, and she's just on it. And so we're putting this team together of people that we work with, companies that we work with, and I think that's it. Having a strong team also is a big benefit, not only for us as agents, but for our clients. Once we can show them what we can do to help them with their needs, it really makes the process. So that's really it. Having a process that we can show them and having the team that will back it up.
Yeah, that is really well said by both of you. And that team approach really resonates with us as well at iFinance Mortgage. I have about 7 or 8 that work on my team, and just dedicated to the state of Texas, I have 3 of my loan officer assistants dedicated just to Texas right now because we're so busy. We have several escrows going on with different parts of Texas in Austin, Dallas, El Paso, down in San Antonio as well. So it's um, it's that team approach. It takes a village, right, to help
Absolutely.
people. And one other thing you mentioned to me that really sticks in my mind is powerful, and that's education, Ruben. You said that, and Nate, you mentioned that too, is when the pandemic hit and perhaps people got nervous and they're like, oh, I don't think I'm going to move yet, or they were moving from areas that were like California. I'm getting the heck out of here. We can't do anything. My business is shut down, whatever. I'm going to find something more affordable. Maybe now's the time to go. About 80 to 85% of my day, and it still is education.
Mhm.
I am on the phone all day long, helping my realtor partners and their buyers, getting them to the next level, like you said, preparing them, strategizing with them, saying, okay, when do you want to be in your home? When do you want Ruben and Nate to put you in that beautiful new home? Great, let's work backwards. Here we go. Let's start here. Here's what we're going to need. Here's where we're going to have to help you maybe on your credit, and we'll help them with that if they need it. So it's really once you get that educational piece done, don't you find that there's more peace of mind with that particular buyer?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really, the most important thing that you can ever do in this particular business is bring peace of mind, because this is one of the biggest assets that they're going to have. And for them, it's a big decision. So you need to guide them. And by them having peace of mind, now they feel comfortable and you are their trusted advisor.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
huge. I have another question too that it kind of morphs and blends in one of my other podcast series that's entitled The Mindset of a Champion. What sets you apart? And I'm going to bring in just a little bit of that too. Talk about that champion mindset that it takes for a realtor today. When you wake up each morning, or even before you go to bed, planning for the next day, how does having a champion mindset affect what you do for your clients each day?
I think mindset plays a big role when it comes to everything that we do. It's kind of what builds us and it creates you as a person. Now, real estate is very emotional based, as I mentioned. And every day that I wake up personally, I know that the first thing I do is I read my daily affirmation. And the reason I do that is because I've read books such as Think and Grow Rich, but one of the more important ones that I've read was from Jim Rohn. And, it was the most amazing quotes that he has learned from other entrepreneurs throughout the years, and it always said, and something that resonates with me is this: if you want to become rich, you have to provide a service to people. If you want to become wealthy, you have to provide value to valuable people. And people tend to get that misinterpreted or seen as, okay, well, I got to go after the more lucrative people. But I see it as opposite. The really valuable people is the consumer. Because at the end of the day, what do they need? They need someone of wisdom. They need someone that's going to be there for them. So me and Ruben have always taken classes, have read books. We watch Jim Rohn podcasts, Jim Rohn videos, because it's all about having that mindset to see what is needed. And the main thing that we both realized very soon in our career was we're not in it for the money. We're not in it for the prestigious. We're here because we want to serve our community. And what we also say is we got two jobs in real estate, or really just in general. Our main job is providing amazing service for our community and bringing families to a home. Our secondary job, which is our part-time job, is working on our wealth. And job number one will always be priority rather than job number two. What do you think
Love
about
that.
that?
I think it's great. Every day I start out in gratitude, and I think that's where I start first. I will lay in bed and do a gratitude list of what I'm grateful for. And that's how I usually start out my day. I also do meditations. I do guided meditations with Gabby Bernstein. And then I try to work out in the morning. You
Oh,
talk about the miracle morning and different things, hour of power, things like that Tony Robbins does. So I think if you start out your day when you're talking about the mindset, once you've accomplished that, you feel accomplished. So now your day's ready, so you can rock. So now I can attack the world. And so that's really, I think for me, the most important thing is starting out my day positive, and then I know I can accomplish anything if I've got these things done.
I love hearing both of your comments on that. And I think me personally too, I try each day not only to be grateful, like you said, to look for ways that we can help other people. We happen to be in a type of work that when we do help people, the money just follows. That's great, and we can support our families. But the fact that both of you said exactly what I look for when I'm hiring a loan officer
Mhm.
is I ask them a question. Why do you want to be in this business? And if they start off with, it's because I heard you can make a lot of money, red flag, right? Now, if you start off with, because I can help a lot of people and I love to help families or people, boom, we're off to a great start here. One thing that I do too is I wake up very intentional about my day. Yes, we have a lot of things to do, but got to take care of our family first, or we can take care of others. So we take care of our wives or our families, our moms, whatever we need to do. And then we look at our day. We say, okay, what's our priorities for today? Who can I help? Sometimes we have to make difficult phone calls. Sometimes we have challenging information that we need to share, but then it follows with a solution. Maybe we get something from underwriting in our case that says, we're going to have to pivot this direction, or we're going to need this, condition to be solved. And it can seem like a mountain, but we'll figure out a solution to it. We're solutionists on our side. And I find that making those calls first thing in the morning, get them done. Start early in the day with those types of conversations so that you have the rest of the day to either work on, those things that you just shared or, you know, count your blessings throughout the rest of the day. So that's what helps me, in my day as well.
Yeah, that reminds me a lot of Brian Tracy, who's great. is
Yes.
eat the frog, eat the frog. Because he says if you eat the frog first thing in the morning, everything else is going to be great after that, because that's the worst thing that can possibly happen.
Yeah, that is so true. Well, guys, I want to wrap up our podcast and our conversation, which has just been fantastic. And those that will listen to this will benefit tremendously from both of your words of wisdom. The final question I have for you is, there's a lot of folks that have left the business. When the interest rates shot up, a lot of lenders packed up and closed their doors. Uh, Real estate agents left the business because the work was drying up. But those of us that stayed in the business through the ups and the downs and everything, or those of us that had started in the business in tough times, like you both did in COVID times, what advice would you have for others to be successful now and into the future?
You want to go, Nate?
Yeah, I'll start it off. Advice that I can give, and so my position at my company is also assistant regional sales manager. And the reason I bring that up is because my job is also recruiting, onboarding, interviewing, but most importantly, training. And as you said, we joined during a difficult time where we didn't have a choice, but it's either going to be sink or swim. While there's others that they may have joined in a better time where there was an abundance of business, interest rates were lower. But the best advice that I can give is never give up. As speaking in real estate statistics, 54% of deals fall through. Now, if you and a lot of people don't know that when they start getting their license, but that's the real truth. So, which means you have to expect the unexpected, and real estate really is a maze. But just remember, why are you doing what you're doing? Are you here for this money, or are you here to provide a service? Because if service is the main focus, everybody always needs that. And if that's what drives you, or that's what motivates you, just think about how grateful those people are going to be when they're themselves are thinking, you know what? Oh my God, interest rates are high. I can't get into a home. And then you come in after the storm as this amazing ray of sunshine that says, hey, don't worry about it. It seems scary, but here's the truth. So just keep going and keep persevering.
Love it.
I think the other thing too is don't feel like you have to do it solo in terms of everything. There's mentors that you can find. There's people that are successful. Most people that I call them heart-centered entrepreneurs are willing to share their knowledge with you. Don't be a leech. Make sure you're bringing something to the table. But at the same token, find those that are already at point Z. If you're at point A, you need to get there. So not only just not quitting, but you have to find the ways that work best for you. Look at all the new things that we got. We got Canva, Chat GPT, all these technological things that are just incredible. So learn them, see how you can apply them in your business, find out what's working for other people, and be valuable to those too. And they're going to be willing to share that. So always, and then to me, it's kind of like, so when you get to that point, it's your turn to pass it back. It's when you've gone up on the elevator and it's your turn to send it back down. So the idea is most people are heart-centered, are more than willing to help if you ask, and don't do it, so that you're a pain, but sit there and look at how they're doing, study how the successful people are doing it, and follow it. It's a recipe. Any business is a recipe. If you want to make a cake, you have to do these certain things. You have to do it. Jim Rohn, who's great, my dear friend, was his business partner. His name's Kyle Wilson. And Jim Rohn has this great quote: what's easy to do is easy not to do. So the
Mm,
thing is, you got to do it. That's the main thing. Just do it. It will come. The law of attraction will be there. Just keep doing it.
I love hearing that. And, Nate, never give up. Reuben, roll up your sleeves and work. And what I also heard in that message too, Reuben, was humility. We have to be humble individuals because that will help us ask the question to somebody else. I need help. Here's a scenario. What's your take on it? What could I do
Mhm.
better? Maybe it's a phone call that we just, our partner overheard us make to a potential buyer or seller. How could I have done that better? Ask for help. Use the team approach. All of these things are so good, what you mentioned. And it's no wonder why both of you are finding success in helping families and people in your area there. I cannot thank you enough for joining this morning. I know you're both very, very busy, and I know that this podcast will be very, very beneficial for those that will benefit from it and will listen. One last thing for you. I am going to, after we take care of all the fun editing and everything, this will go on all of our social medias across the board, and it will be shared out to thousands of people. Also, we'll provide you the videos so that you can share it as you see fit. But we're also going to use AI, and we're going to break it down into several different shorts that we can use that will stay top of mind for your community and for your market as well. So we invest personally and professionally in our realtor partners, as Reuben benefited from just last month here. We went out to the #1 lender in the country, UWM, and that's what we do. We take care of our realtors. We want to make sure that you're growing, that you're benefiting, and if we can be a part of that journey to help out your people, and you can see the speed in which we operate in, which is lightning.
It's amazing. It really is. And not only that, you guys are just top-notch communicators, which I think most businesses miss that, that the communication, you can talk to someone, and that's what makes a difference. And you guys exemplify that, which is awesome.
And you know what, John, I personally also want to thank you because a lot of lenders wouldn't take time out of their day to do what you're doing. You're investing not only in the realtors, but you're investing in the consumer. You're taking time out of your day to try to get the most captive information that can benefit them. Because at the end of the day, lenders and realtors work hand in hand to make a better world. And if we can't have this trust and this bond that you are building with us, there's no way that we can get our clients to the closing table because that's what they want. They want to have those keys. So thank you so much for always providing such an amazing service to the world. But most importantly, thank you for deciding to become a lender and for deciding to make a difference in this world.
Thanks. I appreciate you saying that so much. And, we're excited. I'm going to introduce you to Nate, specifically to a group of young entrepreneurs that are out in California. They're down in this, if you go to San Diego and then go out towards Yuma, Arizona, they're right in the middle, Imperial.
Awesome.
And there's a small group of young ones that are getting into the business. And I think it would be very helpful, for both of you to meet them. We'll do what I'm actually looking at starting up is a young professionals group. So we'll have some realtors from different parts of the country. We'll have maybe a couple lenders in there too, and maybe some title and escrow people. But people that are looking to get into this business, but are not really sure, or it'll probably weed out some of those that are maybe not getting the mentoring that they need to be successful, which could also be something that could benefit you on the way of recruiting side, and gather some of those folks that say, hey, we'll take care of you. I'll train you, So we'll use that as a bit of a recruiting tool as well.
That would be an
sounds
honor,
awesome.
and I greatly appreciate that. Yes.
Good. Well,
Yeah, so
guys,
thank you so much for having us on. This has just been absolutely fabulous.